Our first playoff game got canceled. THD had a bit of a scheduling conflict. But we are going to be back with game number 2. It's myself and Ruptur bringing you Cafe Le Crew up against Men of Pauses. And, I mean, Ruptur, people aren't as excited about this match, I'll be honest. But I'm pretty excited about it, to be real here. These two teams are two of the ones that really came out of nowhere for me.
No, actually, you know, I mean, if you follow any Dota, this actually is a match that is interesting. It's not full of hype as you would say, not today, or you know, Kid Stars, or for paying gaming, God forbid. But I mean, for any Dota, it is a quite relevant match, though. You know how I would rate this match, and actually, this is a shout out to Rookie. You know how I would rate this match, man?
What?
I would rate it 10 out of 10. You know, you go to the store, you grab some potatoes, man. You stop the potatoes, man. You taste them, you poke them, you say, and you buy them, and you say 10 out of 10, man. That's just 10 out of 10 quality, man.
All right.
Had to do it. That one is for you, Rookie. So don't tell me I don't show you some love, motherfucker. Sorry. Pardon my French.
It's all good, man. Anyways, we'll get into the draft right away here, as this is finally a best of 3. No more of this wishy-washy best of 2 crap. It's not a whole, like, well, one team won the first game, and the other team won the second game, so who won? Nobody knows. What are we going to do? Nobody knows. But we've got a best of 3. If one team wins one game, the other team wins the other game, we'll go to a third game, the tiebreaker. The most exciting game there has ever been in Dota. Better than TI4 finals, although that's setting the bar pretty low. Anyways,
I would say that you're setting the bar so low that it would actually high-five the Prime Minister of China.
Yeah. And I was there, Ruptur, and I'm still like, yeah, that was, no. It was not exciting. Anyways.
Earthshaker.
Let's go, though. Cafe Le Crew picking up the Lycan and the Earthshaker. They'll get rid of Death Prophet and Razor. Men of Pauses leaves the Earthshaker in the pool, and we've also got the Viper banned out, as well as the Brewmaster from them. Pick up the Tidehunter and the Jakiro. A bit of an EG-esque draft. I'm assuming Tide will be in the off-lane, but we are also going to see Ogre Magi and Doom banned out. What are you seeing out of these bans, Ruptur?
Bans?
Or picks?
On the side of Menopauses, they don't want to deal with single target lockdown, as in the Viper, because I mean with the Viper Strike you're able to really screw someone over during team fights, especially if they're mobile. So I would say the Menopauses are gonna go for something like maybe like an Ember or something really agile. So they don't wanna deal with that Viper Strike on top of them, right? As well as the Doom, man. A Doom ban, I would totally say it's an Ember game or a Weaver game from the side of Menopauses, just by those two bans alone. The Brewmaster is more of a general thing, because I mean the Brewmaster just overall just screws you over early game. It's just really hard to deal with in general. It's like it's the same thing as the Death Prophet, you know, except that the Death Prophet is more of a tangible, you know, situation, because she pushes and she deals a lot of damage, while the Brewmaster is more of like, oh, I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna take control over the team fight. Period. And also that Necrophos ban would totally say, you know, would totally signal me, it is what they're gonna go for, a really mobile, elusive, high DPS glass cannon style of a core, pretty much. I would totally see that happening.
And somebody that really doesn't or is really for Protect 1 focus. Someone that if they're gone from the fight, we're gonna be in a pretty big trouble here.
5 seconds remaining.
Pretty big trouble. Yes, that's the thing. Sorry about that.
Reserve time.
But Necro's ult, it's been a bit of an issue. I don't know if you were around my stream earlier today, Ruptur, when we played. It was the 3-stat game with Shaman, me, and Maximi. And Maximi played Coddle, and I played Necro Carry, and I just went for basically the Nature's Prophet Blade Mail build.
Yeah,
and it was
I think you stole that from someone.
Oh, I definitely did. I'm not
like
saying I came up
night?
with that. It was last night or the night before that we saw that build come out, and I was like, hey, that actually works really well. Blade Mail's already a good idea, and hey, let's try it.
because I mean the blade mail nature's prophet build is just centered around, you know, ideally it just gives you a lot of stats, but the added bonus that you can do when you're running a necrophos on top of that is like, okay, the necrophos will have a bigger uptime with the blade mail just because he's tankier and his role is to be tanky. So he's actually gonna get even more out of that than the actual nature's prophet, even though the nature's prophet with a blade mail ensures him to not be bursted, but at the same time, I mean, with the necrophos you can sort of do that same thing in the middle of a team fight.
In the early game is getting bursted down very quickly, and you don't want to be bursted down very quickly because, well, you're a necrophos. You don't want to get taken down before you've got your ult. And also, you can use it right after you've secured a kill to make sure that they don't burst you down when you're at low health and needing to regen. Anyways.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid idea. So, kids, Blade Mail no Talisman build, now Necrophos. With twice the power.
Twice the cutting power.
Yeah. Well, twice the stabbing power, I would say.
Yeah. Well, it's a Blade Mail, so I guess it cuts as well. Anyways. Cafe Lou. Gonna pick up the Timbersaw. Pretty good up on their team as well as against Men of Pauses. The only problem I'm seeing right here is that we currently have all melee out from Cafe Lou, and
actually that would play into again that mobile carry. If Men of Pauses picks a mobile carry, man, these melee heroes outside of the Lycan will have a lot of trouble catching up with it.
I see someone like Storm Spirit coming out, to be honest. They've banned out those mid lane dominators in the Brewmaster and the Viper. Doom, of course, a big problem. And also, just someone who's able to zip around the battle and really kite these melee cores effectively. Yeah.
I personally would say an Ember is kind of better, honestly.
Yeah, he's more into the meta.
No, and also, it's like, the problem is like, Ember is harder to just burst down, which is a plus versus Timbersaw. So that's a reason why. That's the reason why I'm feeling an Ember, honestly. Stormspirit wouldn't be a bad pick, to be honest, but he needs to do well in the lane. If he loses the lane, he's gonna get behind significantly. And there we go.
Here's
that's
someone else,
Okay, Slark. That's well. Another reasonable pick, you know, 10 out of 10. 10
of
out
course.
of 10, man.
I mean, I don't like Slark anywhere. I'm gonna go ahead and say that because I think the hero is really annoying to play against, at least. But in this situation, I think it's really good. It's a melee carry who can kite pretty effectively.
10 seconds.
And while he doesn't have a hard stun, the leash is very helpful. Now, Ancient Apparition will do a
counter pick.
Bit of work. Yeah. I don't think it's as strong a counter pick because it can be really hard to land a ult on Slark. Because, I mean, he's going to know if it's coming because all of a sudden you're sitting there.
Well, you do have a really good setup with the Earthshaker, though. I mean, a Blink Fissure into a nice blast. Gonna be really hard to kite around. And second of all, that Ice Vortex on top of the Timbersaw burst damage, it's gonna be disgustingly brutal, man. Especially for the Vengeful. She's gonna get torn to shreds. Because the Ice Vortex actually amplifies pretty much everything that Timbersaw has to offer.
Yep. So, Naga Siren getting the ban out, though. Wait, they're really scared of a Naga Siren with a Slark on the team?
Well, it's not because of the Naga Siren per se versus the Slark. It's just because look at the rest of the lineup. Add up a Naga Siren to that.
And you've got these 4 heroes creating so much space, and Naga's just like, let me get my Radiance. Let me break your base in 80 minutes. And maybe it's just that Men of Pauses don't want to deal with that late game risk. But, I mean, there still are heroes like Spectre in the pool. They'll ban out the Ember Spirit, though, which is still a viable pick.
Yeah, it would have been a really killer middle lane, and actually we'll have a lot of stuff. I mean, Café Crew do have a decent amount of control, but it's not exceptional. I mean, it's just pretty much the Earthshaker and maybe the Ancient Apparition a little bit. It's unreliable.
Well, Timbersaw's Chakram is great as a zoning tool, simply because if you're trying to stand in one place, and Timbersaw's got a Chakram there, you probably shouldn't stand there. It's gonna hurt a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, team fight oriented, they really don't have that much going for them in terms of control. I mean, they do have some, but they need something like their say has been okay. There goes the Storm Spirit. So
What did I
good
tell
call
you?
on.
Yeah,
good call.
Storm against Timber is really good because he's a natural Orchid builder. He's also very good against Earthshaker for that. And you look at these heroes, there's not... The stuns they have are good, don't get me wrong. But they're not instant stuns. It's not like a Rubik Lift or a Hex from someone.
Outside of the Earthshaker, they have not a single reliable stun.
Yeah, and
Creative.
against Storm, Earthshakers are only somewhat reliable. He's got quite the wind-up animation on Fissure, a little bit of an animation on Enchant Totem, and
That's a way to counter.
such a big...
It's on control.
A little bit of control, but I actually don't like Silencer up against Storm. I've played quite a bit of Storm Spirit in my day, which is just, you know, everybody's day these days.
That was Friday, pretty much.
Yeah. But, oh, we have the wrong overlay. I am...
Prepare for battle.
It didn't start the overlay yet. I've got a second to fix it before my ugly mug goes on the camera and all the viewers run away.
Oh man.
There we go.
You will scare your future new Canadian girlfriend, wouldn't you?
Future Canadian girlfriend? What?
Yeah,
Please,
I mean,
I'm staying with the woman I got.
oh yeah, you're actually hooked up. Never mind. Never mind.
Please, if I lose this one, I can't find anybody else. I'm done. Because some girl will
Alright.
have watched my stream and been like, no way. This guy's a nub. Anyways, let's...
He doesn't have 6k MMR.
Yeah.
Doesn't. No. Not
Although,
gonna happen.
we're halfway there.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's
That's
get
the
into the game right now. It looks like the lack of music bug is back. I'm going to reconnect just real quick because that is the most annoying thing in the world. And then we'll get ahead with our introductions, excuse me. Personally, though,
There.
I'm feeling Menopause's lineup. Against Silencer, Storm Spirit does well, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. Rupture, if you'll take it away for Menopauses.
The Menopauses, the direct competitors of PMS. We have Moo with the Sharky Slark. We have D2 Sheriff with the Vengeful Spirit. I think that's a new tag. We got JJ the Jet with the Jakiro. Man, that's a tongue twister.
It is. I actually was able to confirm with my girlfriend Saturday that it is a children's show. JJ to the Jet. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Oh, I think I heard of it, but here in the Latin parts it's called differently. So
Yeah.
that's
Like your Duracell rabbit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We bootleg the living crap out of everything, man. Anyway, going back a little bit into the introductions, in the middle lane we're gonna have a Scapegoat with the Storm Spirit, and on the solo off lane we're gonna have Locarn with the Tank Hunter.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the side of Menopauses right there.
On the other side for Cafe Lou Crew, apparently the pride of Canada at the moment. Arteezy, step it up, mate. We've got, of course, Mate on the Timbersaw in the off lane. On the mid lane, we'll have Mind playing the Lycanthrope. And up top, we've got a tri-lane made up of Blue on the hard carry Silencer, it appears, Cafe Lou on the support Earthshaker, and Memoria on the Ancient Apparition. I do want to talk real quick, though, about Storm Spirit up against Silencer. Yes, you'd think, okay, this is a hero who can dominate him in lane, and I think it's great for them to put it on the safe lane instead. Haven't even played Silencer competitively previously. By the way, we've got Initiator on stats. Big shout out to him. Locaran gonna get the TP off and actually gonna be able to escape all the way back to base, but hey, why spend some extra tangos when you can just walk a little farther? But he doesn't actually do that well in lane up against Storm Spirit because it's like, oh, well, I'll just Curse of the Silent him and he'll start draining HP and mana, and then he's got a Static Remnant that he's gonna throw off. And then you're like, well, he doesn't have anything else to cast, I'll last word him. And about a second later, he's got another Static Remnant he can pop off. So, it's not exactly a hard counter as much as one would think. It's great in the mid-game, but...
It depends on the build, because I was just... Literally before this, I was actually playing with someone who actually I totally forgot that I was gonna play with for like 2 months, so I was just postponing that, definitely, because I started casting. Actually, if he goes for a full last word build first,
and we've missed. I mean, I know this ancient stack for Tide was very exciting, but I apologize for missing First Blood. Slark, able to clean up the Timbersaw in the bot lane, and actually going for an Essence Shift focused build, but when he doesn't have any stuns or really debuffs at all to
they're going again.
It's going to be great. Yep, they're going right again. JJ going to land the Ice Path. There's a stun out from Venture Spirit as well. And they should be able to get it. They'll dive tower a little bit, but actually they're going to back off. And Timber with the salve.
He was too late with the Wave of Terror. I feel like he should have just dropped the Wave of Terror on top of that.
Meanwhile, though, on the mid lane, we've got Cafe Lou. He throws out the Fissure. There's no ult up for Storm just yet, seeing as he is level 4, and he's going to be rotating up toward the top lane. Scapegoat actually getting a nice static remnant off, going to get some extra damage. Choke, find the courier. One more right click will do the job, and they'll take that down at least. So actually a relatively even trade for the Storm Spirit. I mean, your team got First Blood. You just killed the courier. Hey, everybody's winning on that team right now. Cafe the Crew, a little bit of a misplay, but they did at least get the bottle off to Lycan in time.
Yeah, I mean, if he manages to get the buyout, it is actually a really even Steven trade. I hope he did. Yeah, he has an old talisman on top of his bottle, so yeah he should.
And in the early game here against Lycan, I don't really think boots are that critical, simply because getting some extra damage, and the fact that you have your static remnants and you can dish out so much burst damage as a Storm Spirit, you don't mind being that close to Lycan at the moment.
Going back a little bit about the Silencer into Storm Spirit matchup, I feel like if you focus on a build like with Last Word and just start spamming it toward the Storm Spirit, you actually counter him pretty hard.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna get that damage eventually, and he's not able to do anything afterwards because he's also disarmed. So you pretty much shut him down out of the lane. The thing is, if you're going for a Curse of the Silent build, that's not gonna fly. That's definitely not gonna fly.
And it's probably just that most of the silencers I've faced in pubs are just bad. Because, again, the 3k MMR. Whatever.
You haven't faced mine. Anyway. Oh, a good Fissure Lockhart, and he actually gets the Hadouken up on his back, and he's gonna get pretty much focused and right click down.
Memoria with the kill steal. They could have let Silencer take it with the Last Word, and actually, because of that, Silencer didn't get the stolen intelligence, so this is a little better for Menopauses than it could have been. However, mind, he's gonna get stunned up by Storm Spirit. Needs to turn around and throw a right click out here. There's a TP coming in from the Tidehunter right now. And it looks like Scapegoat not actually going to turn around and go for it just yet. Tidehunter, he's had his Ancient Camp blocked off, and this TP is basically going to be wasted at this point.
Yeah. That was something I was about to point out. That it was a really good ward.
Yeah, we rarely actually see people block camps against Tide, and honestly, I think he's the new Tinker. He's the new, they have that hero block the Ancients quick.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why not to. Honestly.
Even if he's not using it, you know that's there as an option.
I mean, worst case scenario, you plan on Observer Ward, at least for dire situation, you plan on Observer Ward here. You got really decent view. I mean, you have a really decent view. If you're able to actually block the camp and have some Rune Vision somehow, play some high tier
I've got this one now.
Support, help me out. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
That's simply where doing work. Now
there is a spot where you can ward the camp and see the rune. I just don't know where it is. The problem is you don't see as much around the camp. So it's a little less effective and not exactly favored.
But at the same time, I mean, on this bottom,
Vengeful Spirit grabbing up the bounty rune right out from under Cafe Lou, who gets stunned up here. And the Cold Feet coming out. There's a lot of harass coming out from the Ancient Apparition. And the Chilling Touch will allow him to take down the hero right here. JJ, though, getting jumped on by the Lycan, who is in his ultimate form. And he's got that Howl coming out. A Silence coming out just to stop that Ice Path. And now, Moo actually going to come into the Lycan right now. Storm Spirit coming in as well. Will interrupt the TP. And they're going to take down Mind. And I guess Cafe Le Crew thinking like the Pixies with "Where is my mind?" You got my reference there, okay?
Yeah, I got that reference. I'm not that young, man. I still get that reference.
Yeah, we've got Lokarun apparently on a little bit of an odd role. He usually plays carry, but he'll be switching into the off-lane role simply for today, because, I mean, they have stand-ins, so, hey, whatever has to happen, has to happen. And I really think that that's why we're seeing him so reliant on these stacked camps. He's used to playing the carry role. He's used to having these stacked camps, and the team wants to make that work for him. I also like the fact that they put their stand-in on an aggressive hero. A hero that may not be the best in the situation. Chat was talking about how Slark into ES is a little not so great, because ES can, oh, no, you leashed me up. I'm just going to throw out Enchant Totem. You're stunned now. Have fun. You know?
Yeah.
But it may be a hero that Mu is very comfortable with, and if you can put your stand-in on one of those comfort heroes, that's often going to be better. It's like we saw with Pain picking out the Spirit Breaker for IX Mike last week.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, I mean, the thing is with Slark, he's a pretty straightforward hero. So that's something that you always want to do with your standings. Just get some pretty straightforward hero. I mean, like a sniper, like, you know, a Slark. I mean, it's pretty much farm, do right-click, juke, and just have good positioning, and there you go. I mean, afterwards it's just decision-making.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, here's the thing with the Slark. It's like, okay, you cannot really focus the Earthshaker as much, but why would you? I mean, just focus someone else.
Yeah, don't be stupid and jump right into an Earthshaker while he's got all his spells up. Instead, go after the Ancient Apparition, an easy kill for you. Lycan even.
Lycan to some degree.
I mean, you may not have a stun, but you've got that leash to hold him in place, meaning even if he pops his ulti, he's going to be sitting right there for a little while.
A stun, honestly, because of the duration. You know, because it does last for 3.5 seconds, so...
Yeah, and there's not that many stuns that last for 3.5 seconds.
Uh-huh.
And actually, speaking of the devil, they're going to jump on Mate and take him down. Mu now on a killing spree. And this is what we're talking about. With the extra physical damage coming out from Vengeful Spirit, keep in mind, each stack of extra agility Slark is going to get from Essence Shift is going to be amplified even more, thanks to that Vengeful Spirit bonus physical damage.
Right, yeah, totally right on that. Now, let's see, how are we going with the timings here? Storm Spirit level 8, has Rope of the Magi, 800 gold.
Yeah. Oh!
Okay, now that's...
Yeah, that's why they picked the Slark, okay.
Okay.
71 and about 25% win rate on Slark over 200 games. I think we've got a good sample size. Anish, I'm assuming that's in competitive play, right?
We'll wait on that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if it is...
Even if it's in pubs, though...
That's a pretty strong
That's a really strong win rate. Even for a kind of pub stomp-esque hero... that's a very strong win rate. Not many players have a 70% win rate on heroes they've played that often. I mean, you can maybe say, well, I have a 70% win rate with Vengeful Spirit, but I've played 10 games as her, so yeah. So you've won 7 games. Yeah, wow.
That's a difference for example, with me and personally, you know, like with my win rate on the Slaughter versus, let's say, a win rate, I think it's on the Lich, that I have like 6 games with the guy, and I have like 70% win rate, and it's like, oh, okay, nice, and then I see
wow, you're a really good Lich. Well, not really.
And I have like, and then I see the Slaughter, I have like 120 games, and I have 70%, like a 65% win rate. I'm like, okay, you know. Again, it is a 3k trench MMR, but still, I mean,
yeah,
it shows what hero you really know. By the way, double wards in the same spot for both teams, and yeah, Scapegoat is just gonna piece out of there.
Yeah, he did manage to grab that regen rune out from under the nose of the Lycan Wolf.
Which is the best rune.
Oh, okay, so it is pub, but still, very impressive. I believe I've heard of Mu before.
Whoa, what'd I miss?
Chad, help us.
Yeah. Yeah, Phage is here in the chat, and he's saying 202 competitive games. Are you sure? Anyways, JJ at the Jet, getting picked up by Lycan over here. And Lokarun is going to get taken down by the Lycan as well. A double kill for him. The double damage rune paying off quite a bit, as well as this use of his ult. And he's just going to chill into the jungle. He's got Treads and a Vlad's now, and they definitely have Roche control as well. So I expect to see Cafe Le Crew take that to the pit pretty soon. And yeah, they need to get something up on the Storm though. Storm, 1,500 gold. It's going to be straight into the Orchid. Maybe some Treads picked up along the way. But doing pretty well for himself. He's got 56 last hits against Lycan's 68. So a little bit of a deficit. But I wouldn't say he's playing it all bad right now. Rupture, you're muted, I think. Yeah. And Moo actually getting taken down by the Timbersaw. He tried to pop his ult to get away, but the AoE from Timbersaw as well as that AA ulti going to be able to help bring him down.
Yeah, no ult will save you from a nice blast. And actually, Memoria has been having a blast on this ancient operation. I mean, like, what's his skill score right now? It's like, yeah, 3-0 with 1 assist.
And he's going for a Midas as well, which is basically a long-term investment, saying I'm going to get an Ags and another item by the end of the game. And mind, he's going to turn around and be a little greedy. He grabbed the Illusion Rune there, but they'll bring him down anyway.
Menopauses, yeah, delivering the goods right now.
I don't think he was getting out of that either way, though, so picking up the Illusion Rune is fine, I guess.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, Storm Spirit is doing is having a good game considering that he actually got killed on the middle lane a couple times. Or no, let me check. No, just a one. All right, never mind. But he actually got a kill on the back of that. So
yeah,
he started a little slow, but he's catching some steam and he's just forming just nice.
It's
However,
not DDX
Blue,
Storm, but it's working out just fine for them.
However, Blue is starting to become a little bit of a factor here, you know, with that force stuff to ensure his survival on top of the Midas that he also has.
And that's a huge amount of farm here. And I mean, usually you see Silencer as one of those heroes that needs a snowball, like a Legion Commander. They want to get a lot of kills early on so they can get that permanent advantage that can't be rubber banded back by the enemy team. On the other hand, though, when you've got this much farm, I don't think you're too worried about getting tons of kills.
Yeah. I found something curious. Earthshaker has Mind's Tangle, but he cannot use it. Volvo, please. That should be something, you know, worth noting. Actually, Blue gonna get jumped up by scapegoating. He's gonna get bursted down rather quick.
No time even for Global Silence to come out before he went down. And yeah, I think that's due to the change that you have to either use your own or be given it by the enemy team. I haven't tried it yet in a pub where to see if you can actually hand your enemies tangos.
Well, I mean, here's the proof. Here's the proof. He already has the enemy tango, but he cannot use it. That's the thing. Because
he picked it up off the ground. I just thought of a next level strat though. If you can hand your enemies tangos, when their bottle's about to get there, and you see they only have that one empty slot, you just slip the tango in their inventory, walk away, and their bottle starts heading back to base. It would only work in my bracket, but hey, next level strategy right there. Tango's now so much more worth buying.
MMR strats, ladies and gentlemen. 1K MMR strats. Nah, I'm kidding, man. It would be kind of fun to do that, but at the same time, it would be. I mean, the reasoning on that for my end, it would be like, why can't you use an enemy tango if you manage to steal it up? You know?
Then what's the point? Why not just kill it? Yeah. Maybe it's one of those Medal of Honor kind of things, like, I have your tango, fear me.
Like yesterday's Tranquil Boots from, like, it was...
It's somebody on Not Today lost him, yeah. It was Mizuko's, because it was on the Crystal Maiden,
Crystal Maiden.
Anyways.
That was a fun game, by the way.
Yeah. Storm now with a 15-minute Orchid, yeah. So... just sitting on these brown boots is definitely paying off. If Storm's having trouble getting his ult, you definitely need to get Treads up very quickly, because he does have very low move speed compared to most other heroes, especially heroes that like to gank. But of course, once he gets his ult, that's not really a factor, seeing as Ball Lightning will get you pretty much anywhere you need to be. The Orchid, though, is going to help him out with mana regen. It's going to help him gank tremendously. This is a hero with a ton of burst damage, and then he gets 30% more. So why not?
Yeah. Also, the attack speed is really, really good for him. He needs that attack speed in order to make his damage actually become a burst. And he's gonna go jump on mine, but he's gonna actually get fissured up, silenced up, ice blasted up.
And he'll be able to get away though. Yeah, Lycan pops the ulti, but Storm's saving his ult until he knew he needed it there, and he'll just wait for that AA ulti to wear off. Meanwhile, Slark getting a 16-minute Shadowblade. Not my first choice, but I mean, apparently this guy's played Slark a lot. The pub game mindset is going to set in here, though, where, okay, Shadowblade's a good item, and now you're in competitive play where it's like, well, not as much.
Nah, but still, I mean, a really early Shadowblade can really pay off a lot.
Yeah, it's going to help create a lot of space for the team.
Look at that. MoP, just gonna jump in, leash in.
Oh!
And, oh, well.
TP scroll? More like OP scroll.
Jesus.
That's one of the best defenses against the Slark, though. You just say, hey, he's here, he has nothing to break my channeling with. Once he pounces on me, I'm like, okay, bye.
I think if he switched to Agi threats in the middle of all that, he would have...
He might have gotten it, yeah.
It was just a little, man. He escaped like with 50 hit points, man. So it was like 1 or 2 right clicks as tops, you know?
Yeah,
so,
and we will see, yep, Cafe Lou getting jumped on bot lane. Scapegoat going after him. The silence will help take him down. That soul burn damage is so ridiculous from Storm Spirit. And Cafe Lou, or Scapegoat, no Arcana. What a shame.
Arcana on Storm Spirit?
Or, wow. Yeah, why don't you have Storm Arcana, you noob? No Immortal.
Yeah, oh, yeah, the Orchid hat there, yeah, that would have been nice. Oh, actually, running... Oh, they missed the Ice Blast. Otherwise, Mate would have totally jumped on that guy. He had like, yeah, 300 mana, 200 maybe, tops. So he had a lot of trouble just jumping out of there. But, yeah, let's see.
Actually getting hit here by the Earthshaker, but he's going to jump on Earthshaker instead. He's actually not going to jump on Earthshaker.
Middle, Ravage.
Oh, I'm focusing on a gank, and yep. Nothing came of it, really. Looks
They did commit a Ravage for nothing.
But mind, coming in here, okay. Okay.
No, but it is a pause for MoP, so actually this is kind of like a counter tactical because Mu is on a really shitty position.
I don't think there's a such thing as a counter tactical Rupture.
Well, it's a pause that actually backfires on you. You know? Like, not a tactical pause, but actually the opposite of that.
Well, it's a tactical pause for both teams. Mu has to think about what he's got to do to get out of this, which is basically purge and pop your ulti.
He already leashed.
No, he hadn't leashed Lycan.
I mean, he already pounced, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Lycan has his ult at the same time, and if I'm correct, Earthshaker should be able to stun him here if he doesn't get the Dark Pact off in time.
Exactly, so I feel like this Lark is actually screwed because of this boss.
I don't know, it could go either way at this point to me.
I don't know, he already pounced it away. He's in the middle of the air, so Earthshaker just lands a stun. And mine just goes with the ultimate and should kill him with ease, unless he pops his ultimate. Well, he does have 4 seconds on the Shadow Blade, so actually that might actually save his ass without committing the ultimate, so never mind. He really needs to time that Dark Pact really well, because if he does get stunned, it's gonna get a little bit dicey. Hashtag dicey.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah. On the other side of the map, well, on another part of the map, the Jakiro doing a little push in tier 2. Scapegoat trying to get a quick creep wave. The Lokarn. How do you pronounce this one? Lokarn?
I have no idea. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there. I have no clue.
I just call him Lokarn because that's what I read.
Lokarn, I think. It could be Lokarun. But that is not flowing as well.
Yeah, that's what I heard you say. It could be Lokarun, but
let me just check here. I'm gonna look at pings.
Man. Just toss a dart.
It's a little ridiculous. Okay.
Lokarn? Okay, yeah, that would explain. Well, oh wait, that's what you're reading. Damn it.
Lokarn, yeah.
Loopcorn. No way. Well, anyway, The TIE Hunter really doesn't have any mana to help him out with this, and yeah, they're actually not even gonna take
Okay.
him.
Tower is under
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah. Looks like they're both going to take the kind of man's way out. I don't think Slark... I doubt they paused there to say, okay, let's get Slark to escape here. He does find an
No, because
invis room.
actually it was the Storm Spirit who paused, so actually it was
Yeah.
the opposite.
Well, I feel like Storm Spirit paused anyway, and then they're like, oh, crap. We're in a weird situation. Moo, though, gonna come around here. He is invis, so they have no clue he's here. And he'll be pinging out the silencer. There's a TP in from Timbersaw, though. And I don't think he wants to go on this right now. Has to be very careful he doesn't walk into tower range. But he will not. Meanwhile, up top, Mind continuing to farm. Hasn't gone after that Roche just yet. And Memoria gonna get jumped on here by Slark. Already starting the purge. And an easy pickoff for Moo. He's already got 1,500 in the bank. Just about 3 minutes after picking up the Shadow Blade.
And he has a Shadow Blade on top of that, so he's gonna catch him off guard here. Wait, no, they do have a sentry. Never mind.
Oh,
He was good picking on that one because
You realize, though-
went for him.
Ancient Apparition was going out to Sentry Ward against Slark, I believe. And instead gets jumped on by him. That's pretty unfortunate if you ask me. Jakiro
Almost ironic.
picking up a mech, and they're going to actually howl up here and go after the mid tower at the moment.
There's no reason to glyph it. To not glyph it, I'm sorry.
Tower has fallen.
Yeah.
And actually the Storm Spirit going for the push on bottom in the meantime. Full mana, full hit points, and even sitting on an energy booster on top of that. So probably going for the Bloodstone afterwards. I don't see any reason not to.
Yep.
I would prefer
Dire's
the
bottom tower is under attack.
Soul Ring first, though, for building a Bloodstone. But I guess the extra mana pool is really good on.
Well, at the same time, it's kind of a toss-up, and it's kind of strange seeing this build come up on Storm Spirit at the moment. You usually go for it instead of Orchid or it after Orchid, which I guess is what he's going to do now. But building it Arcane Boost or Energy Booster first is not really the way you want to go, because it actually increases the cost of your ult.
Oh yeah, so instead, yeah, he should have gone with that. Oh, he's gonna get that jump on Mate. Quick Remnant, quick Vortex, quick jump.
And it'll be enough with the silence.
Middle tower is under
Pulling
attack.
out the Michael Jackson,
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
pretty much.
Yeah, everything,
And
the whole
Matador
combo.
just realized that the Orchid is up.
Yes.
Good job on him, though. Shout out to those guys on the Spanish stream, by the way. You know, doing work today. Now
Yeah.
JJ, ooh, nice dodge on the Ice Blast.
Yeah, but he will get silenced up here, and he's going to be forced to cast something. But as he turns around to do it, he will be going down.
That's one of the pros of the Jack, man. It's like he really has a slow turn rate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I feel like a really hard counter to a Jakiro, which usually you don't see it in competitive because I mean, who actually goes for Jakiro at this stage? I mean,
Kappa.
I mean, not frequently, like core full Jakiro, like full farming Jakiro.
Oh, not like safe lane farming Jakiro, sure.
No, like full core Jakiro.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
try
EG's
to-
been doing it a bit, but...
like building him up like an invoker, so to speak.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So a counter to that, it would be a bad rider because of the stick and Napalm. He would be like taking forever just a turn.
Or Medusa.
Yeah.
Unless Medusa... She doesn't affect turn rate anymore, does she? I should know. I've played her quite a bit recently.
Yeah, you should know, Revo. What the hell? Step up your game, man. Nah, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, I mean, stick and Napalm on a Jakiro would be kind of just devastating. Nice timing for the Aghanims, considering that you have
Yeah.
4 stuff on top of that.
Well,
And
I'd say with the Midas, though, it's setting him back a bit. I mean, Silencer's still sitting top of the nothing chart. Just
it's
kidding.
actually on the second of the network.
Yeah. Storm is getting these pickoffs, which is helping him out farm him. And now Storm, he's got the Soul Booster, which basically gives you the stats of the old Bloodstone without the active part. So he's making quite a bit of progress. He'll be about 1,500 now. Or 12, 1,300, something like that. I'm not going to do math right now. From his Bloodstone. And he'll be dropping the Magic Wand right now. I think they definitely need to give the Aegis over to Storm. But a Lycan Wolf, it's an imposter in the pit, ladies and gents. As actually,
Just drop.
they're going to catch him out. Yeah, they've got a sentry here. Roshan falls to the Dire. Storm will pick it up. He is silenced up there. He will end up dropping. Well, actually, Roshan fell to the Dire somehow there. I'm assuming... I don't really know how. But Scapegoat, he's going to get silenced up here in the meantime. Last word from him was a electric vortex, and he'll get taken down. Very nicely done there by CLC, and this is one of the things about them. They know they have good Roche control anyways with Lycan, but they have great team fight in the pit with Earthshaker, AA, and Timber. I mean, with AA, his Ice Blast was made to scout out the pit, practically. You've got Earthshaker, who, if he can get into the pit, of course, can pop a great Echo Slam and hit quite a few heroes most of the time. And Timbersaw with his big AoE. Okay, yeah, Timbersaw got it.
That's what I thought.
With the Chakram, I'm assuming?
Pretty much, or the chains. Either one of them.
Yeah, okay. It was a little bit of a lag spike for me. I couldn't really tell. Sorry about that. But
yeah. And actually, you saw the my argument just pretty much getting a good proof right there. You know, like you drop a last word onto the earth, onto the Storm Spirit, and he's like, "Well, I guess I'll stick with it, and I guess I'll just have to suck it up." And I mean, he was silenced for at least 3 seconds, and he was pretty much
taken down,
dying on the second life.
And actually, nothing on the Courier, so he is completely set back because of that fight. He doesn't have any progress made on his Bloodstone at the moment, and that's not a good sign. Because they actually didn't profit out of that Roche fight in terms of the Storm Spirit, and Silencer was able to actually take the top position in terms of net worth. He'll be going for a Yules now, it looks like, which could be pretty nice. It'll actually let him purge that silence off of him, although you'd think Silencer would be fine with being silenced as much as he likes the word and likes the status effects.
Like how it is, how quiet it is.
Why does he even have voice lines?
Under attack.
Yes.
Well, he kind of needs to communicate to people, though.
Boop, boop,
He's like,
beep, beep.
yeah,
Wisp
he
can do
needs to
it.
tell people to shut the hell up somehow. So,
Attack.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower.
Anyways, quite a few D wards coming out for your Radiant team right now. And JJ the Jet really working out the support potential here. But actually, we've got Slark coming in. He's going to get hit by an AA Ice Blast. And can he purge it off? They try to bring him down. Ancient Apparition, able to... You can do that?
no, you can't.
No, did you see what happened?
What?
Slark... Okay, I want to say Slark purged himself and got Yulesed and damaged himself during the purge in order to bring him down to the HP threshold to shatter. But he took damage during the Yules then, which shouldn't be able to happen, right?
That's a good question. I don't think he would have actually... I think it's HP removal, first of all. I don't think it's damage for himself. No, it is actually damage.
Radiant's top tower is
I don't know, man. That was a good question. However, nice jump with the Ravage there, and they're actually gonna get blue, but at the same time, I mean, blue already blew his... Well, no, he actually had a global, so never mind. I'm talking stupid here.
Yeah, and taking him down is a very important thing. They need, even if they take a bad fight, they don't want Silencer to be there for it, because then he's going to start snowballing that int. And thanks again, Mata. Lycan, I believe, has Necro 3 now, and he'll be working on a BKB.
is under attack.
See, another good call for the Matador, man.
Yep.
Dire's structures
Telling you, man, this guy
fortified.
checks inventories like it was like, I don't know, IRS, man. I don't know, that's the best I can come up with.
That's a pretty good one, I gotta say.
Tower has fallen.
But, yeah, Bloodstone now coming up for Storm. 26-minute Bloodstone is not bad at all. The timing, I'd say, in pubs at least, for my crappy MMR, is about 20 minutes. If you can't get it by about 20 minutes, okay, you just go for something else. But see, this is after an Orchid. And I'm talking about straight up rushing the Bloodstone. So, as long as they can secure Storm a few early kills right after this, he'll be good to go for the game. I mean, he's already got 27 mana regen. And a load of HP, a load of mana. I mean, what's not to like here?
Yeah, he only needs extra CC with a sheepstick, and you're pretty much good to go. I mean, there's nothing else you really need outside of that, and maybe a BKB, but that's pretty much it.
Lincoln's is your other alternative, but I definitely think we'll see him go BKB simply because of the global silence. You can't block that with the Lincolns.
Also, by the way,
And-
with the
Slark?
whole... Speaking of Slark,
He is like ratting it out over here trying to get to the shop. He's actually got a Sanjin Yasha ready for him as soon as he can get back to base. An item I definitely like on Slark, because it allows you to fight, and that's pretty much what Slark wants to do early on.
Yeah, going back a little bit into the Slark, into Ancient Operation situation with the Ice Blast there on near the top rune, I don't think it wouldn't even matter that you ult, to be honest, but because he procced his Dark Pact, and you cannot dispel the Ice Blast out of the Dark Pact anyway, so that was actually kind of a misplay. He was about to kill himself. So, yeah. Well, I don't think it can. It would be really OP if he was able to dispel the Ice Blast out of him. I'm pretty sure you can. So, I mean, it was like, okay, you gotta use just extra for your efforts, but you were still gonna shatter anyway. So,
yeah.
Just something to point out. Kids with Slark, you cannot dispel the Ice Blast. Just
yeah, don't bring yourself lower trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like trying to armlet all it, you know. It's like
yeah, it's just not gonna work.
nice offensive work from the side of Menopauses if you're checking the middle lane.
Yeah, a very nice one. Having it up in their base, that's gonna allow them to really get some great blink initiation from the Tidehunter if they want to dive into the base. And Slark is one of those heroes who can very effectively dive. He learned that in Dark Reef Prison.
Let me check here. Something my Skype was a little bit, active, so I was just double checking if everything is going well with the streams and everything. So
it's much easier now though because we've got only 2 best of 3s a night instead of 6 best of 2s. All at once.
Alright. Let's see. Oh, okay, it was Risenga. He's saying, like, no, if you guys need me on the Spanish stream, I'll be just fine. I think Matador has this thing on spades. So it's good to see him casting again. So, going back into the game.
Wait, who?
Quick Smoke, not gonna get much out of it, though.
Okay.
Alright, Blue. Already has his heals, threats, 10 intelligence stalling. I feel that that's a little bit low for a silencer, but I guess I guess when teamfights start to actually, happen more often, like in the later parts of the mid game, it should be more productive, I would say. He just needs to stay on a safe position. Relative.
Oh, that's weird.
Why do you get the Ancient Operation on the front lines, though? That's also weird.
Yeah, they're going to back him off right now. I'm kind of surprised they even smoked up with him, but he's actually only 800, 700-ish from his Scepter. Jakiro going for a Blink Dagger, something we've seen, but usually comboed up with the Yules.
Also, another thing worth noting out of the Midas is like...
we got a Yules up on Tide, though, and an Earthshaker Fissure as well. He'll enchant his totem and go in, but Lokarn, excuse me, is going to already go down. There'll be a Macropyre out from Jakiro just to say, get these creeps out of here. And Blue going to come in here. He'll throw out a Curse of the Silent that completely whiffed, I think.
Yeah. I think that... No, never mind. It was just the pounce jump that made him miss. So, that's why. Let's see. What else do you have in mind, Mr. Lycan? Oh. Well, there goes the courier. Never mind.
Yeah.
Thank you, Storm. I was just about to check that.
We don't know what's on it then, do we? You know what? I do know what's maybe not on it. Never mind. Who was it going to?
Lycan.
I
think it was the
BKB
plus the
the Mithril Hammer.
BKB, just the Ogre Club and the
Mithril Hammer. Yeah, he was probably going to drop his Quelling Blade and Bottle to pick those up, but we will actually see JJ getting taken down here by the Silencer.
Now Blue's ramping up with intelligence. Just
that was what it was.
Just as I was saying, you're running a little bit too low on soul intelligence. +4.
You don't think I'm smart, bro? You think I'm stupid? I'll show him.
Fucking stupid. You make joke?
Excuse me, Jakiro. I'm gonna need your intelligence.
Like, by the way, you might be going to a frat house soon because I don't think you're gonna make it through the university, man.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But Storm now
they're
picking up the
running
BKB.
pretty heavily, by the way, on the side of menopauses.
Yeah, there's a kill disadvantage going over toward them, and they're still sitting at about a 1,500 gold lead. And this just goes to show, this is how a vast majority of our games in the Battle of America have been. The comeback system, I mean, yes, it's crazy when a team is so far ahead and they can throw big, but it does help keep these games in check. We're seeing games that sit right around the 3k gold lead mark and never pass that for about 30 minutes or so.
That is true. Let's see. Let me just double check here with the guys.
And yeah, I'm seeing Trogod in the chat is saying, well, if CLC gets BKBs, what do menopauses really have? Like, cute, you have a Slark who, he's annoying, sure, but at the moment, he doesn't do that much damage. He's just more hard to get a hold of, you know?
Yeah, if they get BKBs, it's gonna be it's gonna be quite difficult to deal with, actually. Unless he gets like a ridiculous amount of
gets a
farm.
BKB. Like he just did. So that's another BKB up on the side of Menopause. Let's actually just take a look at our items here. We have 2 BKBs up on Menopauses. Thank you, Ruptur. Just a little poke at Mata there, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm helping them, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Spirit. He's helping us, might as well, and I totally forgot of that function, you know, of actually shift-clicking items, so might as well use it, you know?
Yeah. Mate will be going for what looks like a heart here. I don't see Timbersaw going for Satanic, to be completely honest. And just to confirm, yeah, we do have a BKB up in the Lycan as soon as he can get a hold of it here. They are going to go after Roche, it looks like, right now.
Actually, Shiva's into the TIE Hunter as well, something worth noting.
Yeah. And he's going to go for some of those more greedy, sustainable items, since he is usually playing carry, as Initius pointed out, so...
Alright, let me double check here. Timbers are going almost for a heart as well. Oh, that's the one that you actually covered. Never mind then.
That's all good, and actually, Mine gonna get jumped on. Scapegoat comes in, he's BKB'd up. There's a global silence out here, but he already took down the prize. Lycanthrope on the deck. He's silenced up, but I don't think he really cares at the moment. Seeing as he's practically sitting at full health right now, he'll try to bottle up for some extra mana. And will actually not be able to have enough mana to grab Cafe Lou right there. And Moo, of course, can't do anything about it since he's just a Slark. No hard stuns on him. Blue, what happened here?
Force staff.
He force-staffed himself there?
Yep.
Okay. And actually, they're going to go after Roche themselves at this point once again. The first Roche did not work out in their favor. It looks like this time, Storm going to pick up that Aegis. There's a bottle on the ground. Nobody wants it?
Nope.
No, okay.
They are laying up the drinks, man.
Okay.
They are going to AA to rehab, man.
And actually, Mate getting silenced up here. A Yule's up from Jakira will actually purge the silence off, but it's enough time for him to set up the Ice Path. And a big AA ulti out on 3 now. Storm Reminder has the Aegis, a big enough of Shiva Ravage. There's Blue manages to dodge it with the Yules. Shout out to Shiva. We love her. The D2 Sheriff, though, ain't a sheriff around these parts, it looks like, as Scapegoat tries to get away. He actually is taken down, but the Aegis is up. There is a Gem of True Sight down on the ground. Slark gonna take down Blue, and now they're looking for that gem. Storm definitely has the slot to carry it, and that's a double kill for Scapegoat. At this point, do you really,
That's a full wipe.
Wow, that is actually a 5-man wipe. I think we see a respect ban on Storm Spirit coming out next match. Ruptur.
Not really. I don't see it. Here's the deal. Why I don't see a ban on the Storm, even though that was a really good play. Don't get me wrong. But it was because of the rest of the lineup pretty much set it up for that. You know what we're talking about? You know, this Tide Hunter, you know, the Jakiro, especially the bans that Menopauses did, were leading up to this pretty much. This was the strat. Storm Spirit, this little guy, this fat bastard, fat jolly bastard though. I mean, he's a nice guy, but fat dancing bastard. I mean, he was pretty much the reason, or pretty much the whole plan on the draft from Menopause, pretty much. This situation right here, these items, this guy being on this day, you know.
He also has 5k gold in the bank, by the way, Rupture. Like,
yeah,
he's at the point
5K.
of tankiness where, honestly, what I like to do in pubs is just say, okay, I'll get a Daedalus. Because I've already got a little bit of extra burst with Overload. What if my Overload's crit? I mean, I know the extra damage from Overload isn't added on to the crits, of course. But the fact that when it's like a Kunkka, like, I don't always crit, but when I do.
Yeah. Now, you know what I would get, honestly? Scotty.
Scotty or a Sheepstick, yeah. Those are my other choices for late game.
I mean, Sheepstick, of course, is the safe route, but I would go with a Scotty for a cock answer. Pretty much, getting cocky is like, oh, I'm just gonna get a Scotty. Might as well keep you slowing you down.
Yeah, you've already got the slow from Overload. You're not gonna go wrong with more slow. I mean, sure, it'll make your ult cost a little bit more. You've got so much percentage mana regen at this point. You've got 200% from your Bloodstone, 150% from your Orchid. It's gonna balance itself out in the end.
Yeah.
The extra int is everything, and also the tankiness, the orb effect, and the massive amounts of health pool as well. I mean...
Oh, and also you get plus 25 intelligence on top of that.
Yeah.
And 250 mana. So it's like, really?
But the item's not good enough.
I'm just gonna spend 50 extra mana per second on the jump, or maybe 100 or 2. Who cares?
I
mean, you have so much
he's looking for an engagement here, and he's actually going to jump on mine, who will get sent back. He's going to get silenced up as well, and A ulti's going to come out. A BKB from mine. Move. He's trying to man fight. There's a Ravage. It's out on 4. Silencer does get the global off, though, and it looks like Lokar is going to go down here. They'll trade for the Lycan and the Earthshaker, so a good trade so far until the Slark goes down for 82 seconds. Storm Spirit as well. He's only down for about 30 seconds, but a beautiful double kill for Blue. And that'll get him a good chunk of extra intelligence. The supports are on the retreat here. It was a great jump in from the Slark and the Storm. Great communication from them. But keep in mind, there's another thing that I believe they may have lost there. No, they've still got the gym. Never mind.
Damn, son. You're scary. Jesus.
Yeah, and this was... I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better time for Menopauses to start fighting. Storm just picked up a huge part of his Sheepstick. Of course, he actually has enough to buy out the Sheepstick. Now, wouldn't be too surprised if he does that, seeing as he does have an 11 charge Bloodstone and will be respawning relatively quickly.
He'll already respawn.
Yeah, he's back now. I don't see the point in saving for buyback at the moment. Your racks aren't in that much danger. I know there's a Lycan on the field. People just work with me here. Okay. But you've also got the Slark sitting on his Scotty that he just picked up. And this is something you see in StarCraft a lot. It's timing attacks and just saying, okay, well, I've just got my army, or like a 6-pool timing, for instance, is the most basic, the most cheesy way.
I just have an advantage over you right now, and I'm going to exploit it before you're able to respond to it. That's pretty much the essence of timing. I have a +1 upgrade advantage on you. I'm just going to send so many Marines that you won't be able to know what to do with them.
Yeah, and we're actually hitting the Heart of Tarask average for Timbersaw right here at 41 minutes. Speaking of which, but yeah, in Dota, it's a little less calculated because in StarCraft, you're assuming everything goes perfectly for the other player, and you can say, well, they'll have this many Marines at 22 minutes and 30 seconds. And everything is mapped out also. Yeah. In Dota, you just have to kind of say, okay, well, we've got our big item, we got to go in, and again, they're going to jump in right now. Mine getting BKB'd up, Scapegoat, he'll stand strong with the BKB as well. He's trying to zip after him, a blink forward from Tidehunter. The Necrobook already out from Lycan, trying to chase down your Slark there. They're going to go after the Timbersaw, but he's going to go ahead and Timber Chain up to the high ground. He'll TP himself away in the middle of that chain as well. And meanwhile, Slark, he's going 1v2 here. He's going to get a double kill after he's taking down the Earthshaker and the Ancient Apparition. He'll get silenced up, and he'll take down the Silencer in return. And Shadowblade himself away. He does get Yules up into the air. He's taking a bit of damage, but he can't be seen by the enemy team now. And he will be regening up, and he might actually look to go back in here. Yeah, he will. He's going to pounce, and he's going to grab Mate, who will try to Timber Chain away, but his Storm Spirit coming in with the Orchid, he'll silence him up. Mate, I think you're wrecked, Mate. And mine, oh, he just got, that was a hate Ravage right there. Like, just, I know you're the only one alive. I know we don't need to Ravage, but I don't trust you, buddy.
You Ravage.
Yeah. And Tide, I mean, the carry player's coming out in him. He's building the BKB right now. Cafe Le Crew, the pride of Canada at the moment, maybe headed down to the lower bracket as Cafe Lou gets taken down. His crew not even there to back him up.
They didn't have enough creeps in order to make that happen, or even if he just waited the rest of the lineup to actually bunch up, I think he would have actually maybe got 1 or 2 kills out of that.
Yep, and the GG well played comes out from your Timbersaw. And the fun ults, of course, coming out from menopauses. I mean, so game number 2, Cafe the Crew, this is elimination time. I mean, not elimination time, but it's at least a...
winner bracket time.
Yeah, it's winner bracket time. They don't want to drop down to the best of 1 area. They don't want to have to let those teams get a chance for revenge against them. What do they do game number 2, Rupture, in 15 seconds here, just to wrap things up?
They need to read better the bans that actually menopauses are doing and react accordingly. Pretty much.
So you're basically saying it was an outdraft.
A little bit. At the same time, I mean, the chat actually had a great point. Moment the BKBs hit the floor, your lineup is kinda
useless.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's my professional assessment. Blah.
Bleh.
So.
But I mean, if you can prevent them from ever getting BKBs, then hey, why not? And
yeah,
they
but
need to ban out these.
I would rather say you have a better contingency plan.
Yeah.
Just have something, you know, a little bit more of a maybe instead of a Timbersaw, something a little bit with more right-clicking power, or even getting the silencer. I mean, the silencer got a good priority on farm, but
it seems like it's more of a utility lineup from Cafe Le Crew rather than, okay, this is the person we've focused on farming most. Because silencer, yeah, Midas is okay, but
pick here, honestly, I would rather have like something more right-clicking, more old school carry style. Hell, I don't know. Even an anti-mage wouldn't have been so bad, to be honest. Well, maybe. Hard to say. But
anyways,
you know, something with a little bit more punch into it.
We'll be moving into game number 2 right now. Menopause is up against Cafe Le Crew. Menopauses lead the series 1-0. It's a best of 3. I'm SP Revolution 5, joined by Rupture, and we'll see you guys at game number 2 in just a moment. Oh, whoops. Let's fix that.